So you're thinking about getting a gaming PC? Well, you come to the right place. In these video series, I will be covering different things in the PC gaming world, such as positives, negatives, myths of PC gaming, PC parts and what they do, building a PC versus pre-built, games that every PC gamer should have, tips for beginners, what parts and how much you should spend, and how to build a gaming PC. This is the definitive guide of getting good PC gaming. I've seen different articles and YouTubers talk about this topic. What I've done is summarize everything they've said and added more so all of your questions will be answered and curiosities put to rest, and all this taking just a little bit of your time. In part 1 of Getting Into PC Gaming, we've covered the positives and negatives. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the myths of PC gaming. Let's get straight into it. The first myth is playing on PC is expensive. Probably the biggest myth and what's preventing people from getting good PC gaming. You can get a gaming PC for the same price as a console, but it will perform just a little better than the console, and in my opinion isn't worth switching if you're not willing to spend a little extra cash for an insane experience. In the short term, sure, a PC may cost more than your consoles, but in a few years you will have spent a lot less than if you were on console. PC games are hilariously cheap and online is free. Adding just these two factors up and your console can go over $1,000 in its lifetime. Next myth is using a mouse and keyboard is impossible. Another giant misconception. When you've never used a tool, then you need to learn how to use it. And the same goes for the mouse and keyboard. When I made the switch to PC, it took me a couple of weeks to get comfortable with the controls, and there was a huge skill gap between PC gamers and console because the tools PC gamers have are better, and that's why. If you want to plug in a controller, then go ahead, PC accepts that too. Hackers everywhere. I've heard this one so many times, and let me tell you, I've come across so many more hackers on console than I have on PC. I remember when my brother hacked his PS3 and he could download any game for free, and when playing on Call of Duty, he could decrease the player's level back to 1 and even freeze someone else's console. You will come across hackers on any platform, and it all depends on what game you're playing. The next myth is there are no noobs, only hardcore gamers. No noobs on PC? That's hilarious. There are noobs on all platforms. Just because someone plays on PC, that doesn't make them more intelligent. There is a big skill gap between PC gamers and console gamers, and that's because of the tools they use. I've come across noobs all over PC, and that's inevitable. There will be players who are new to a game, they're coming back to a game after ages, they're new to the platform, and the list goes on why someone can be a noob. Lesson here is there are noobs everywhere. You get the great players who like to have fun and play objectively, and you get all the awful players who don't know what the hell they're doing. Moving on, no problems at all. Remember what I said in part 1 of Getting Into PC Gaming? I said, PC gaming isn't all sunshines and rainbows. It isn't always perfect. You will come across bad PC ports, crashes, noobs, and the list goes on. But if you can look past these issues, then PC gaming is for you, and you're going to enjoy it so much more. The positives weigh out the negatives. It's impossible to build a PC. Seems that everyone I talk to about building a PC, they seem to think I'm a genius. Building a computer is like putting Lego together, and that's no understatement. The way I learned how to build a PC was watching some YouTube videos, and soon I became confident I couldn't wait for my PC parts to arrive and get stuck in. You know those guys who have an attachment to their cars? They have built, maintained, and even named the car? Well, you will want to do the same with your PC, and it will become a passion. So that's it for part 2, the myths of PC gaming. I've covered all the major points. If you have a question on your mind about PC gaming, then be sure to comment. In part 3 of Getting Into PC Gaming, I will briefly be touching on the PC parts and what they do. If you can't wait for part 3, then I've already done a full blog post on it, and you can read everything I'll be covering in the videos there. Just go to techanime.com/is PC gaming for you, or check the link in the description below. And to be notified of my latest uploads, then subscribe and take the bell icon. For all things anime and gaming, go to techanime.com.